Hey guys, we're live. We're live. I'm Jeff with eBay Addicts, and I got a brand new guest for you guys. Today I have Ed, the Reselling Rider, on today. How are you doing today, Ed?
I'm great, and how are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. I'm doing well, man. Go ahead and introduce yourself to our audience, just in case they don't know who you are. You can tell everybody who you are, where you're from, and tell them what it is that you do.
Sure. So my name is Ed. I am a part-time reseller on 4 platforms. I am doing this part-time mainly to support my family, get extra vacation money, or just get any fun stuff that we need that my full-time job can't provide. Um, the way I currently reside in Southern California, so plentiful of items here to resell, and yeah, that's really all I got for now.
Okay, and so you live. What part of California do you live in?
Southern California.
Okay, and what type of items do you sell? I saw your video. You're selling a lot of shoes lately, right?
Yeah, so recently, I'd say probably about the past 6 or so months, I started getting heavily more into shoes because of Rinzi. I don't know if you see him on Instagram. It's because of him that I actually started researching more shoes and getting more knowledgeable in it. And I like to sell bread and butter items. I don't sell the high end sneakers like Marcus does or the other ones do. I like those bread and butters. Those are easy for me to research, and those are the
Right.
shoes that a lot of people always need. And but I do sell hard goods. My girlfriend likes to sell plushies, but she's been recently helping me out a little bit more. And then, of course, I do some toys, auto accessories here and there, whatever I could find.
Okay, cool. We're live, Ed. Let me say hello to a few people in the chat real quick. First of all, I wanted to say hey to Reseller Mom. I was on live with Reseller Mom today, so if you guys get a chance, you can go check her channel out. She was gracious enough to have me on, so I appreciate you hanging out with us today. We have Hot Flip Heidi is here in the chat. I wanted to say
Hello.
hey to Devela Flips. Annie is here. She says hey
Hello,
Jeff
Annie.
and Ed, and yeah. And so if you guys have questions for our guests, you can go ahead and drop it in the chat. So Ed, tell me, man, how long have you been reselling now, and how did you first get started into reselling?
So I officially started reselling in September of 2019. It was 3 months before my daughter was born. And that was the main reason why I started to reselling because here, just like in Florida, here in Southern California, the living expenses is just out of control here. So just with my full-time job that I had, I would not be able to support my family like comfortably. So I started researching in, I think around August. So for 4 months, I actually got on YouTube and I was just researching a lot of random YouTubers. And then I happened, the three that really caught my attention were Rinzi, uh, Part-Time Pickers Mad, and also Harry Tornado. Those are the three that I started with. And from there, I researched their videos over and over for about a month. And then I officially started by going to my first Goodwill and picking up some T-shirts, and that's how I started.
Yeah, I had Rinzi on as a guest last year, and I've had Harry Tornado on in the past. And I've tried to reach out to Matt, part-time picker. He lives out there in California, not probably not too far from where you live. And I've reached out to him, and he's always busy, man. I guess it's difficult running 2 YouTube channels and a reselling business and taking care of your family. So you're at the point you were like, man, the cost of living is kind of high here. I'm living in California. I got to make some cheddar. I got to make some money. I got to make it rain. So you kind of decided like, hey, I'm going to give this reselling thing a shot. So you started in 2019. Does your wife, does your family, do they support your reselling, or what do they think about it?
So first, Matt, he actually lives in Northern California. So he's like almost 10 hours away from me. So that's far. And my girlfriend is actually a stay-at-home mom. So she's the one who supports our kids and everything.
Yeah.
So the way that it came up is that her sister actually is the one who told her, I was like, hey, you're going to be a stay-at-home mom while the kids are at school. Why don't you do reselling on the side? And I don't know why that just piqued my interest more than it did for her. I don't know why. So I was like, you know what? One day at work, I was on my computer. I was like, you know what? Let me look at some resellers. And that's how my thing started. But yeah, like you said, California, just like Florida, is very outrageous for the living costs. And thankfully with reselling now, it's great. Even though I'm only doing it part-time, that extra income is definitely helping no matter how little or big I do get every week.
So what all platforms do you sell on? I know you sell on eBay. What other platforms are you selling on right now?
So I sell on, of course, eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, and Facebook Marketplace. Poshmark has actually been my second best now, which is surprising because I had no interest in Poshmark at all. And then when I started using List Perfectly, and then that's when I was like, you know what, let me try it again. And that's when my sales just doubled because I was being more active and cross posting to every other marketplace.
Right. So tell me a little bit about this List Perfectly app. Does it work for you? Because some people tell me that cross-listing apps work. Some people say they don't. It's a waste of time and money. But is it working for you? Tell us, give us a skinny, give us a download. Tell us about the good and the bad.
All right, sure. So of course I'll start with the good because that's what everybody's always interested in. So
Yeah.
List Perfectly is actually not an app. They don't have a mobile app at all. All it is for desktop. It's a Google Chrome extension, and what it plain and simple is just a copy and paste extension that makes things a lot more easier. They have their catalog, which doubles as inventory management, and that's where you can actually cross post to make things a lot easier. I've been using it for I think coming up 10 months now, and it definitely helped me out in my sales. I paid the $50 a month, and within 2-3 sales, it pays for itself, and then I get the rest of the month for it. So here's the other good thing is you can actually make drafts on the catalog itself from your mobile, but you cannot cross post from mobile. So that's a bad part right there. So, and the other bad part is where's the other one? Like you said, so some people they don't in the beginning it gets so confusing to them that they don't give it a try. They just quit, and it's a learning curve just like anything else. And the good thing is they give you a 3-day free trial. So if you don't like it, they'll give you a full refund back. So and the other question was this: if I saw it beneficial or confusing or whatnot, it's not confusing for me at all. If you're an organized person like I suddenly became when I started reselling, it's so much easier and it's so worth it. I can tell you that it definitely has brought me, I'd say maybe an extra 5,000 that I wouldn't have gotten from eBay alone, because some items that I had on eBay sat for months. I say 3, 4, 5 months. I listed it on Mercari and Poshmark. It sold within 2-3 days, and same with Facebook Marketplace. It sold super quick.
Okay, now when you have this listed or cross-listed, do you have to go back and manually delete the items when they sell on other platforms, or does the cross-listing platform do that for you?
So you still have to manually do it. So the only thing that another great thing is that when you cross-list from the catalog itself, once the listing is made, it copies the item ID onto that catalog itself. So then it shows you what platform it's on. So once an item sells, say it sells on eBay, you could go back there, you just click mark sold, and then you click the platforms that it didn't sell on, and then all you got to do is just push end listing, and that's it. So it doesn't do it automatically, but it makes the process 10 times simpler.
Right. So the idea is that you do this cross-listing thing. You said it's $50 a month, and by cross-listing on multiple platforms, you should be able to get more eyeballs on those items, and those more views, those more eyeballs should convert into more sales. Which platform right now do you make the most of your sales on right now?
So the most is definitely eBay. Yes, the way it's eBay is of course my biggest, is just how it is. Then it's Poshmark, then it's Facebook Marketplace, and Mercari is currently my lowest performing one. But it's still a great platform, of course.
All right, cool, Ed. Let me say hello. You're a popular guy today, Ed. So let me say hello real quick to Vela Flips.
Hello,
Andy
hello.
is in the chat. Wanted to say hey to Dumpster Diver Dad. Harry Humpstone is here hanging out with us today. Hey, Harry. I hope you're having a good day today. And Noob Ernie is here. Hey, Noob Ernie. Thanks for coming by and hanging out with us. Wanted to say hey to Hot Flip Heidi. She says, I need to make some cheddar. You've come to the right place. We're gonna make it rain in here today with me and Ed. Reseller Mom is here. And Sewing Sniper. I appreciate Sewing Sniper for coming on and hanging out with us.
Hello.
Oh, and
Hey,
the ATL Flipper just stopped by. Hey, what's up, ATL Flipper? How are you? Hope you're doing well. So today we're hanging out with Ed. So Ed, give us a download, man, Ed. So how many items you have listed right now on your eBay store, and what are some hot items that are selling hot for you right now?
So right now, I think I currently have about 1,300 listings on eBay. I have about 1,000 on Poshmark. I don't even remember how much on Mercari or Facebook, since they don't actually tell you how much you have. But majority of it, of course, is shoes and clothing, as well as part hard goods and some auto accessories here and there. My hot items right now are definitely still athletic shoes. Even though we're getting more into the colder months, they still seem to be in demand, especially the hiking ones for me at least. And then sandals are still selling well for me, but of course they're mostly going to either here in California or over there in Florida, basically almost nowhere else. And then recently I started going to my clothing death pile bin, that because I had like 8 bins of clothing, and I already sold the athletic shorts and swimwear in 2 days. So it's just a random array for me that's still working.
So Ed, I got to put you on the spot here. Tell us why they call you Ed the Reselling Rider. Tell us what's going on. Tell us, how did you come up with this name? Tell us the story about this.
So that's just something that I actually put myself. No one really called me that. When I was actually when I started becoming more serious about YouTube, I was like, you know what? I need to have an actual name that maybe either people are going to remember me or something, just something itself. So one day I was just talking to my girlfriend and I just couldn't come up with any names. So the way that I came up with is, Ed that's just the first 2 letters of my name, and then the reselling, because reselling, and then rider is because I'm a passionate motorcycle rider, and that's the way I came up with it.
Okay, I thought you were gonna be like, I thought it was gonna be like Ed the ride sharing reseller. The people that live in Uber. I thought that's what it was for. I thought it was like you were like ride sharing people around. So, Ed, what do you do? What is your regular day job that you do when you're not reselling and shooting YouTube videos?
So my day job is basically marketing, just taking pictures and actually uploading photos for my where I work at. So basically, it's the same thing that I do for reselling, taking photos and just uploading. That's what I do every single day.
Oh, really? Okay. And so how long have you been there?
Well, I'm going on 12 years now, actually.
Oh,
so
okay.
I started there when I was 17, and I just turned 30 last month, so...
Well, time flies when you're having fun, dude. Well, congratulations on hitting the big 3-0, bro. I know it's like, it seems surreal. You're like, wait a minute, is this right? You're like checking the date of birth, like, hey, we gotta lower it down a little bit. So, so yeah, I think that's like, once you become like 30 years old, I think that's like you've reached the rite of passage into adulthood. So you can't like hang out and party anymore. You gotta put your adult hat on now. You know that, right?
Well, I was never actually into the whole partying thing. So as soon as I turned 20, I was always in that business mindset. But I was just more like, let me just have my fun my way. I was never into the whole partying or drinking stuff. They never interested me.
Okay, so all right.
My mindset has always been like, I gotta find something to work or any of that.
All right. So you've been a hustler, huh? So tell me, Ed, what is your plans like in the future with your reselling business? Like, where do you see yourself over the next 3, 4, 5 years? Are you going to try to grow and scale your reselling business? Like, what is your thoughts about that?
So what I want to do for right now, since my daughter is just 1 year old, she has to stay here at home with us. She can't go to early education or anything. So right now I'm just doing that part-time so I can pay for all the holiday experiences that they come out, especially because of the pandemic. They took all that away from us, especially for the first year of my daughter. So that's what I'm doing. But once she starts school, I want to actually build this where I can either support my family here or do it maybe 3/4 of my time, where I can, tell my boss that, I just want to go part-time here now, and I'll focus more on reselling a little bit more than what I'm doing now.
Yeah, so I mean, you could still do it on nights and weekends and holidays, and especially like if you have like a paid holiday like Labor Day, you could sit home and list items and still get paid holiday. So that's cool. Oh, I just wanted to ask you this question, Ed. Have you considered moving out of California and moving to a state where like cost of living is a little bit cheaper? Have you thought about that?
I have, and as Cali is where I was raised. I was actually born in New York, so I've been living in all the expensive states my whole life. But Cali is where I'm at. Probably come to retirement age. That's probably when I want to move somewhere East Coast, but more into the colder weather because I love the cold. I can't stand the Cali heat. I really don't like it. I love the cold.
Okay, so you like colder weather, but for the time being, you're going to stay in Cali and ride it out, huh?
Yeah, for now, because my family's here, and just build up the business where, say, I have it ready here, but I'm able to move it to another state where I'm already set up and I don't have to start fresh.
Okay. Well, I was just wondering because it's hard to move. I mean, I was in Kentucky for 30 years, and once you get set in your ways and you have a routine, you have your friends and family that live in a certain state, it's hard to just pack up all your stuff and put it in a U-Haul and say, all right, we're moving now. Everybody hop in the U-Haul truck. Let's go. So I was just curious. We got a few questions in the chat. Let me say hello real quick to the Selling Sniper. He says, what I've noticed is on Instagram and YouTube, a lot of resellers are fearful of starting Amazon. What is your thoughts of selling on Amazon, Ed?
I can't really say because I don't know much about it. The only thing I know about it is from the beginning, you're extremely gated. You can't really sell anything. And it has to be in pristine condition, like basically brand new with no flaws. Would I be fearful of it? Probably not, because we have to start somewhere anyways. It's a learning curve. Try it out for a month or 2 months. And if you like it, you never know. It could be your best platform. But other than that, I really don't know anything about Amazon, so I can't really help on that.
Well, I think it's just education. Like you said, when you're first getting started on Amazon, you have all these categories of things you want to sell in, and it's like you're gated in these different categories. And some people just don't know how to get started. They don't know how to send in their first box or their first shipment into Amazon FBA, and it's a lot easier for them to just grab an item and say, okay, I scanned the barcode, take a picture front and back, list it, and then you're good to go. So, but I haven't started selling on Amazon yet, but I downloaded the Amazon seller app. So maybe next year we'll look at it, but it's, you only have so many hours in a day. And when you have a full-time job and you're shooting YouTube videos and listing and packing and shipping items on eBay, you only have so many hours in a day to do it. We have a quick question here from Dumpster Diver Dad. He says, hey, Ed, I have the $29 plan on List Perfectly. Is it worth it, or is it worth it to get the $50 plan? So talk to us a little bit more about List Perfectly, and should we upgrade and get the $50 plan, or should we stay at the $29 one? What would you recommend?
Completely upgrade to the business plan. So the one he has is the simple plan, which is a $30 a month. The business plan is the middle one, which I have, which is a $50 a month. And then the pro plan is the $70 a month. That's the one that has all the features. But to me, the $50 a month one is completely worth it. Because for the simple, I believe you only get the pictures, title, and price, and that's it. It still makes everything easier, but when you just for that extra $20 a month, you get all that. You get a SKU description, hashtags. You get a bunch more things that the simple does not offer. So for that extra $20 a month, you should definitely upgrade. I completely recommend it because you will not regret it. Trust me.
So once you upgrade, you can change your plan at any time, right? So if you get the $50 plan, you want to downgrade to the $29 one, you can change it whenever you want, right?
Yeah, you could change it anytime you want. There's no commitment that you have to stay with the same plan for the whole month. Yeah.
So Ed, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about your sourcing strategy. So where do you have a route, or do you have a certain route that you go to every week when you go hunting for merchandise? Do you hit up a lot of yard sales, estate sales? What's your plan of attack as far as sourcing for inventory?
So believe it or not, I don't do any yard sales. I don't like them. I don't know why. I guess it's just I don't like to lowball people, or like say someone is asking $5 for somebody. I was like, but my mom's like, I want to offer them $3. I just don't like that feeling. It's just a personal thing for me, I guess. But
yeah,
I love going to thrift stores. There's three particular that I like going to, mainly because they already know who I am. I'm very friendly with them, and their prices are actually very reasonable, so where I can still make a profit. Of course, I still hit up Goodwills because here in Cali they have the $1 color sale, so I go to that when I can. And then I hit up the flea markets often as well when it's not really hot here, because it's really hot, and I like getting some of my inventory from there as well. Excuse me. And those are my main sources: thrift stores, Goodwills, and flea markets.
Yeah. I know what you mean, man. I had this like Lord of the Rings action figure that I wanted to buy at the yard sale, and lady had it priced for $2, and I kind of was like looking down at the floor and handed her the item, and I was like, "Can you do $1 for this item?" And she just, I didn't want to look because I had the money to pay for it, but I was kind of like looking down at the ground because I was like didn't want to ask her, And this poor channel was like, "Can you do this item for $1?" And so I'm looking down at the ground, and she's just like, "Yeah, sure, I could do $1 for that." So I just paid her the $1 and got out of there as quick as I could. Like, I'm telling you, I left that yard sale like I stole the item, because I did not like. I was worried that somebody was going to recognize me or someone knew who I was, and it was like, it was like this Legolas or Aragorn, like Lord of the Rings action figure. It was still new in the box. I knew it was worth more than $1, and so I didn't want to linger there. I was like, all right, I found the item. Give the lady the $1 and let's get out of here. And I'm just looking down at the ground like, all right, here's your $1. Let's go, let's get out of here before they figure out what happened.
Yeah, and another thing is the reason I don't like yard sales is say you're on your phone and you're researching on eBay app is like, oh, this guy's a reseller. Maybe I could up the price even more to get more out of them because probably worth more than what I even know it might be. And then thrift stores, they don't even care about that. The only thing I don't like is when I accidentally forget to put my notification volume down, and then when I'm scanning something at thrift store, boom, the little barcodes are loud. I'm like,
oh. Yeah, you got to turn the volume down, man. I don't really have that many issues at like thrift stores, but if I'm at like the Dollar Tree or Walmart or something, people will be like looking like, what's that beeping noise coming from? Because they don't have a clue of what it is. And I had this one person come up to me and they were like, sir, can I help you? And I'm like, oh, no, I'm just looking around. And she's like, well, you can't be scanning our barcodes here. And I said, oh, okay, no problem. So before they threw me out, I just left voluntarily, So you gotta turn the volume down a little bit so you don't have that beep noise every time you scan a barcode.
Exactly. I just forget sometimes, so it just happens.
I know, because you have the volume on. Maybe you're listening to YouTube or you're cranking out, listening to music, and all of a sudden you just start doing that. But yeah, when you're at a thrift store, like their price is already on there. They're not going to change the price. Whatever the price is whatever the price is. So so that's cool. So when you when you go to the thrift store, what's some of the first sections that you look for? Do you go to the shoe section? Do you go to the electronics? Like what do you hit up and go look at first?
I go straight to shoes, and I go mostly to women's shoes because I don't know what it is. Especially here in Cali, the men's shoes they're taken extremely quick, or they're really overpriced, or if you do find a good pair, they're trash. They're like already worn out. But when it comes to the women's shoes, it's like they're priced a lot lower. You get them, and the soles are basically like brand new. It's like $7, and then it's usually half day off, so $4.50. I mean, at $3.50. It's like yes, thank you. So and after that, I go to hard goods, electronics, or backpacks because the thrift stores around me here have a lot of motorcycle accessories, gear, stuff that for some reason in the thrift stores or other resellers they don't even bother to look at, but I know what to look for. There's some brands that I know what they are to somebody else is like, oh, this is probably just some cheap brand, when I know it's like, oh, I could sell this for $100, $120. So I usually go to that section afterwards.
Yeah. What are some things that you have where you live at, in the city where you live at, that give you kind of a competitive advantage living in California as opposed to living in other states? Because you've lived in other states and things, but like, what are some things? Do you have like a sourcing spots that you go to, or what do you think it is that kind of gives you a little bit of an advantage where you're at as opposed to somebody else in another part of the country?
I think the only really advantage here in Cali is the fact that this state is so wasteful that no matter how new something might be, somebody would either just donate it or throw away. Because I've seen so many things that are basically brand new that are worth money. I was like, what is it doing here? So I pick it up. But that's really the only advantage I could think of, because there are a lot of resellers here in Cali, but what I'm noticing is that a lot of them are clothing resellers. They're not really too focused on anything else.
Yeah. But I think California is like the most populated state. It's either, I think you're first or second right there with New York, because I think Florida is like number 3 most populated state in the country. So, I mean, there's other resellers here in Florida, but there's more opportunities because there's so many people here. There's so many people that have second homes here. There's that snowbirds that come down for the winter and then leave for the summertime. There's so many people that come down on vacations. There's so many people that are like retiring and moving away, or somebody had passed away for estate sale. So it seems like year round, I could go sourcing year round. And part of it has to do with the weather being warm year round. So
yeah,
let me say hello real quick to a few people in the chat. I wanted to say hey to the Selling Sniper. Says I've never done yard sales, but I'm open to it. eBliss Reseller Solutions. Dave and Lori, I hope you guys are doing well. He says, pro tip, no beeps or katings when sourcing. Yeah, you got to kind of turn the volume down a little bit. I wanted to say hey to Sonny, Las Vegas Thrifts is in the chat. He says, hey, thanks for coming by and hanging out. Reseller Mom is here hanging out with us. She says, my stores are either too high or products are trash. Yeah, that's the thing that a lot of resellers are saying. They go to, when they're at some of these thrift stores, is like either their prices, especially Goodwills, they're starting to raise their prices up, and you have to kind of like, you got to kind of hunt for some of this merchandise to get a good deal on it for it to be worth your time, for it to be profitable. And the Selling Sniper says, I've got over my shyness of being a reseller, because I'm wearing a shirt that says I'm a reseller, or Red Mountain Resell shirt that says buy it, list it, sell it, repeat it. And the niche seller is here. Hey, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well today. So Ed, do you have any tips or tricks or knowledge or advice that you can give our audience to help them out with their reselling business? What would be 2 or 3 that you could think of off the top of your head?
So the one thing that I can actually tell you is, or maybe 2, because it's the same category. If you are a shoe reseller, always make sure you do the bending, everything you can to make sure that the shoe is actually good. Because I got a pair of shoes, taking pictures. I noticed a little weird thing was off. It was a pair of Nikes. And then I go, boom, everything, it just falls apart. I'm like, oh, shoes. So I had to get rid of that. And then the other most important thing is make sure you get the same size shoes, that they are the same size. Because I had a sale of some Brooks. It was like $65. Awesome. I paid $5 for them. I go to start packing them. I was like, wait a minute, something doesn't look right. One's an 11.5, the other one's a 9.5. I'm like, oh. So I messaged the buyer, and the buyer was actually understanding. I was like, okay, cool, that's fine. And the third is just find a niche, I guess. That's really all I could say.
Yeah, man, that would break your heart when you have a $65 sale and you pull the shoes out, and the shoes there's one bigger than the other one, and you're like trying to chip it out, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, it's the right shoe, but they're 2 different sizes. So yeah, that would definitely be crazy, man.
Yeah, and one and probably a most important one is crosslist, because it will make you extra money.
Yeah, so to you, it's definitely worth the extra $50 a month for the what was the thing? List Perfectly, right?
List Perfectly, yes. Yeah, it's definitely worth it. There's other programs out there. Everybody is different. I have tried other ones, but I just found that List Perfectly works best for me. It's just like Rinzi. I know they use they use Hammock, and that's great for them. But to me, that's just List Perfectly works for my business model.
All right, cool. What is your plans getting ready for Q4? Are you getting ready for ramped up, ready for Q4, or what is your plans for that?
Yeah, so I'm getting ready. I have still like about 100 pair of shoes that I need to list. I still have to go through all my clothing, and now I'm trying to go more for toys, because the way that this holiday season might be, toys might be in short supply. And I actually have some more dolls that I need to post too, actually. But yeah, I'm just trying to get everything just bashed up, photographed together, and then that's what I'm actually going to list, because when my time being so limited, there's only so much I can do after all. And right now I'm just focusing on taking the picture so I can have everything ready, so I can bulk list everything at the same time.
Okay, cool. So Ed, I got to talk to you a little bit about your YouTube channel. Tell everybody what got you inspired to start your YouTube channel, and what type of content do you make on your YouTube channel?
So it's just probably the same reason as everybody. I've gotten so much information from this community, things that I knew about, things that I didn't know about. So I just wanted to give that back. At the end, monetization might be a goal, but monetization or not, I'm actually doing this for fun, because I enjoy the editing process. I enjoy, showing people the things that I find, and, answering any questions they may have, because that's just how I am. I like answering questions to things that I know about. If anybody needs help, I'll be there to help them. Most of the videos that I do are either what sold, or lately some thrifting videos, but most of the time I try to throw in some informational videos that people might not know about. Like, I was actually thinking of doing one today, but I didn't have time to do about I don't know if you got the email about the new fall 2021 update. I just got that email. I was like, I wanted to read through it, make a video of it, because some people, they're not going to read that, so they don't even know what changes or updates they might get, or what they might end up losing. And that's the kind of stuff that I try to do with my channel.
Yeah, I was actually sitting here reading that earlier. It's like my mind doesn't shut off. So I was like, I was eating my peanut butter jelly sandwich. I had my glass of milk, and I had my phone out, and I was scrolling through looking at the eBay seller fall update. So unless you guys are like an eBay nerd like me, you probably don't read every email that comes to you. But I look at it because it's like one little thing, like last year, for example, when they gave us all these extra free listings in these different categories. I'm like, that's a game changer. If you didn't take 5 minutes out of your day to read that email, you don't know what's coming or going, and it's stuff that's going to affect your business and affects your business model. So I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, if you
yeah,
got 5 minutes out of your day, you might as well go ahead and at least read the email and see what's going on if it's going to affect your business. But yeah, I did read that.
yeah.
So
So
go
go
ahead.
ahead. Also, like you said, that email, that was the April update. A lot of people that I was either watching or just chatting with, they didn't even know that they got those extra listings. So they were still paying for the premium stores. Like, wait, why do I have 10,000 listings? I was like, they changed that last month. I was like, oh, so now I could downgrade, pay 30. I think, what is it, $30 a month for the basic or store or something like that, and you
Yeah,
get that same 1,000 listings that you're paying for premium, and you just save yourself almost $50 right there. And
yeah.
that's because people didn't want to take 5 minutes to read.
Yeah, I think I made a video about that, but it's like some things that are negative. Like for example, I knew that the post office is going to be raising their rates, and I assume that people knew about it. But like I don't want to come out and put out negative vibes, negative energy into the universe. It's like because when you put out a video and say, "Oh, the post office is raising the rates," what kind of comments do you get in the comment section? Post office sucks. I hate the post office. They're raising their rates. So it's like I try not to put out negative information. I try to put out stuff that's positive. We want to have positive vibes. But so yeah, so you do some what sold videos. You do a lot of sourcing videos on your channel as well, right?
Yes, yes.
All right, cool. I wanted to say hello to a few people in the chat real quick. I wanted to say hey to Javela Flips. Annie is here. The Cap Guy is here. Cap Guy says he's going to be live 7 Central with what sold and more. Do you have Angie Resells on today or no? And I wanted to say hey to Nana Tink. I haven't got a chance to catch up to Nana Tink in a while. Thanks for coming by and hanging out with us. The Cap Guy says hit the like button. I wanted to say hey to my buddy BK from the Rockies is here. Nana Tink says hey Jeff and everybody in the chat. And I wanted to say hey to the Niche Seller and the Selling Sniper. If you guys have questions for our guests, drop it in the chat. Cap Guy says yes, but it's on my channel. Yeah, if I have time, I'll go by and check it out. Believe it or not, when I'm sometimes running around doing errands, I'll just have other content creators' channels playing in the background to help them get their watch time hours. When you first get monetized, guys, I'm not going to lie to you, it's like $2-3 a day. So it's not like life-changing money when your channel is monetized. But at the end of the month, if you could take that money and pay a cell phone bill or put that money towards paying a light bill or buying groceries, it's worth it. So don't give up. If you're like borderline and you're like, man, I don't know if I'm going to get 1,000 subscribers or 4,000 hours of watch time, just keep working, keep moving towards that goal. And there's people in the community that's here to help you. Like for example, last week we were able to help Katie Reeves and Flippy McFlipperson. Both of them just crossed the 1,000-mile or 1,000 subscriber threshold. So just kind of keep doing what you're doing. Nana Tink says why would anyone do that video on the post rates and get notifications about it? Captain Obvious. Yeah, well, there's everybody has different type of content that they want to make. The Cap Guy says, I have to figure out how to get my money out of YouTube. Yeah, you have to go to the AdSense account and link it to your bank account, Cap Guy. But you'll figure it out. It'll just be direct. Just tell them that I don't know if they do paper checks anymore, but I think you get it set up as direct deposit. And the Reseller Mom says hit the like button. So thank you guys in the chat for hanging out with us today. We don't have much time with Ed because he has to leave to pick his kid up from school today. So Ed, tell us a little bit more about what it is that you do on your channel. You said you do sourcing videos, you do what sold videos. What other type of content are you going to be making in the future on your channel?
So I'm trying to do mostly what sold. Like I said, my time is limited, and also when I'm trying to record, my kids are bothering me, and we have a thing where we don't really want to expose them too much to a YouTube or just online just yet because we just it's just not something that we like. But I want to do like maybe what sold in location videos or holiday things because right here there's going to be a lot of events, and that's just something different, I guess. And then that's really all I got for now. I'm just trying to figure out ways to make my content more interesting. Like recently, just out of nowhere, I started doing fun facts on my shipping videos, and I've gotten a lot of positive feedback on that because I know with other resellers that I do watch, and on the packing part, all they do is just fast forward with some music, and that's about it. The way that I do it is I do that exact same thing, but I put in like a bunch of little fun facts about the things that I sold or just little random things to keep the eyes on the screen, and I gotten a lot of positive feedback. A lot of people are liking it, so that's something I'm just gonna keep doing.
Yeah, that's good. You got to do something a little bit different that kind of separates you from everybody else. So, Ed, hey, I appreciate you coming on and hanging out with me today. Let everybody know where they can check you out at on YouTube and Instagram so they can go by and follow you.
So just on YouTube is Ed the Reselling Rider, just as you, and exactly the same on Instagram, Ed the Reselling Rider with just the underscores. I'm very active on my YouTube. If you guys have any questions on any of the videos that I made, you can always put a comment. And I usually reply as soon as I get the comment. I'm really active. So if you guys need any help with List Perfectly, cross posting, anything in general, you could just let me know and I'll be there.
Okay, cool. Well, we appreciate you coming on, Ed. We'll let you go because I know you said you only have 40
Yeah.
minutes because you have to go leave to pick your kids up from school. So
Yeah.
go ahead, Ed, and tell people if you have any final thoughts or words of wisdom, something that you can leave our audience with.
Sure. So, again, thank you for having me on. I truly do appreciate it. I'm trying to get on as many lives as I possibly can. I'm going to be on Pittsburgh channel, I think, at the end of September. We're going to be talking a lot about cross-posting because I actually got him into List Perfectly and he completely loves it. I'm going to be on his channel. And yeah, I'm just, that's really all I got. And, my last word of advice is, as always, just cross post because you won't regret it. If you're just selling on eBay, that's awesome. But if you cross post, that's millions of eyes that you get on your items, and that could be extra income that you're missing out on.
Yeah, for sure. So go ahead and follow our guest. All the links are going to be down below in the description for YouTube and Instagram. And I have a guest coming on tomorrow. Dixon's Pixons will be on tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So if you guys want to come by and hang out with me and Marcus, I will see you guys tomorrow at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Till then, you guys have a great day. Go ahead and follow our guest. All the links are down below. I would like to help Ed get to 1,000 subscribers. And so go ahead, follow him. All the links are going to be down below in the description. Oh, thanks, Nana Tink, for the $2 super sticker. You don't have to do that, Nana, but we appreciate you for coming by and hanging out with us. And I wanted to say hey to the Reseller Mom. Thank you for having me on today. I had the link in the community section. If you guys missed it, we did a video on her channel today. If you guys want to go by and check it out. And I wanted to say hey to Devela Flips Annie and the Cap Guy and the Niche Seller and anybody else in the comment section that I missed. I will catch you guys tomorrow, and you guys have a great day, and I will see you later, okay? Bye, guys.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.